Welcome to the July 13th, 2021 meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh?
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends newspaper, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Are you here?
Here.
Oh, I didn't hear my name. Here. Sorry, guys, I didn't hear it.
Mr. Hurd?
I am here.
Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mayor Russell?
Here.
Quorum.
The next item on the agenda is presentations. The first thing we'd like to do is wish Mrs. Lillian May Bott a very happy 100th birthday. I believe her son is here to accept. So if we could all give her a round of applause.
That is great. Okay, thank you very much. Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is she up and around?
She is in the JDT Renaissance.
Okay.
And she's doing very well.
Good.
And I'm sure she's going to appreciate this. Big smile.
Send her our love.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
to her.
The next item on our agenda is report of audit. Jenna?
I wear my heels, I won't be able to see over this.
Listen, I can see you in here, so you and I are good. I don't know about the glare with anybody else.
Thank you for having me. Val couldn't make it here tonight, so she asked me to fill in last minute. I just want to thank everybody. Adam, Julie, it was a pleasure doing the audit again. I just want to point out a few highlighted items for the audit this year. Our fund balance for current fund was about $4,845,000, which was an increase of approximately $900,000 from last year. The increase related to the following is the greater lapsing of the unexpected balance of the 19 budget compared to the 2018 budget, and also cleanup and cancellations of the grant reserves, and also the COVID emergency of $185,000 this year. Your tax collection rate was relatively flat from the prior year. You stood at 99.5 for your tax collection rate. Your utility fund balance this year for water was $936,000 because of the increase by design for the increase in the debt costs. Your sewer decreased of about $240,000 this year, which was paid down for older non-funded capital ordinances. Your solid waste decreased about $177,000 this year, increase of the cost of the utility. Your recreation increased about $36,000. This was solely due to the cancellations of the budget appropriations and the COVID emergency of $208,000. Without that, you would have had an operating deficit in the rec department. The American Recovery Funding will be able to utilize to fund the emergencies passed during the pandemic. I'm happy to report that there was only two recommendations. One was a minor, and the other one was the fixed assets, which was a reoccurring one, but it increased significantly. The only major portion of the fixed asset that still needs to be resolved is the tagging of them. Adam and Julie did an excellent job of creating the fixed asset report, but it's just the tagging of the items that we need. And the only new recommendation this year was for the Planning and Zoning Department. The deposits weren't being made within 48 hours, and the permits were not being issued in sequential order. Other than that, we want to thank everybody for having us, and it was a pleasure doing the audit.
questions from council?
Nope.
Great job.
Thank you
Keep
very
up
much.
the good work.
Thank you.
At this time, are there any reports or comments from any of our volunteers serving our community? Please limit your report to one volunteer reporting. The next item on the agenda is public comments. The public comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. An additional period for public comment is reserved later in the meeting. Individuals are requested to limit their questions and comments to 3 minutes. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record. Okay. The next item on our agenda is the manager's report. Mr. Brewer?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Just a few quick items. The first, obviously, we had a pretty significant storm last week, and I just want to touch on some statistics. We were one of the hardest hit communities in the region, which is never something that you want to have happen, but the other side of that double-edged sword is you get the most resources. So we had approximately 4,000 people out of power shortly after the storm hit, around 6:30, 7 o'clock on July 6th. Within 24 hours, all but about 500 people were restored, which is good for the, 3,500, but if you're one of the 500, that's still not great. That said, within 48 hours, 100% of the people who were impacted as a result of the storm had their power restored. For those people who drove around the community, it was pretty impressive. I remember when I was younger having summer storms, and they weren't this violent or this powerful. Poles were snapped, trees were down all over the place. So I just want to send a special thank you to the Department of Public Works, the fire department, the police department, the first aid squad, because they all did fantastic work. Because of the amount of debris in the road, the Public Works Department was activated at 7:15. They were out. They were already cutting stuff up and working through the night. Fire department was running all over the place because of down wires and calls and activated alarms. First aid squad was out there helping people, and the PD was closing off the roads and keeping everybody safe. So all in all, you never want to have a situation where people are out of power. That said, there were no injuries. There was some minor property damage, but otherwise most things were restored within a couple of few days. And as we've all experienced, once the power comes back, we've become a little less tense and anxious. But without the efforts of all the people out there in the street, it wouldn't have been possible. So I just want to thank everybody who responded to that. This evening we have the cannabis ordinance scheduled for public hearing and potential adoption. We've talked a lot about that, so not much more unless there are questions. And lastly, just to make the council and the public aware, the township was approached by a filming company who's looking to shoot some feature film spots, and they need a town hall like every town in America, and they're interested in filming it here. So the goal is, my restriction was it must not interfere with municipal operations, so they're going to do it at night or on the weekends, and they're looking to film some scenes of individuals that come to a council meeting over and over again and bring up some similar issues. I said that may or may not be life imitating art. But we're pleased to welcome them. Maybe it'll happen sometime in September if everything works out, but I just share it as an FYI because we've had some filming in town. There's a film with the Douglases a number of years ago. I know City Hall had some scenes shot down in Wayne. It's always nice to see a feature film and something you're so familiar with. Unless there's any other questions, that concludes my report.
Adam, what was on Facebook, that forensic files show that they were doing scenes from, are you guys aware of when any of that is?
Yeah, if you have any questions, just public portion. I don't want to.
Okay.
You good?
That's all. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a public hearing on ordinance number 2021-13. Ms. Marsh?
Ordinance number 2021-13 is an ordinance to amend Chapter 360 zoning of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Pequannock to prohibit certain classes of cannabis establishments as uses within the township and limit and regulate cannabis cultivation establishments as conditional uses and to establish a cannabis transfer tax within the township.
Are there any comments from the council?
No.
Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make
that.
Go ahead, Ronnie.
I'll make that motion.
1 second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If anyone in the audience has questions or comments on this ordinance, please come to the microphone and identify yourself for the record. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-13.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mayor Russell?
Yes. There are no ordinances scheduled for introduction at this time. I'm going to remove our 2021-161 from the resolution list to be voted on separately. As we all know, Mr. Phelan resigned, and we want to thank him for his years on council and his service to council. At this time, however, I'd like to ask for nominations for council member to replace Mr. Phelan.
I'll make a nomination to appoint John DeRisi to fill the vacancy from Rich Phelan.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there any discussion on the nomination of Mr. DeRisi?
Yeah, who's that guy again? Just kidding.
You're so good. Will the clerk please call the roll?
So this is Resolution R 2021-161, selecting John DeRisi to fill the vacancy in the office of councilperson effective immediately. Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Absolutely.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mayor Russell?
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. DeRisi. We will be swearing in at the end of tonight's meeting, because the last thing you want to be is dragged up here to talk and vote about stuff you have no idea.
Poor guy. Does he know what he's in for? Sorry, John.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Wallach. Good night, Kim. Thank you, and thank you, John, for willing to be a volunteer for our community. Returning to our agenda, next is the remainder of the listed resolutions. Ms. Marsh.
Beginning with Resolution R 2021-162, providing for the insertion of a special item of revenue in the 2021 budget pursuant to NJSA 40A:487. R 2021-163, approving change order number 1 for the Alexander Avenue reconstruction project, increasing the contract with American Asphalt and Milling Services of Kearney, New Jersey by $37,075.86 to a revised contract price of $292,642.61. 2021-164, approving change order number 1 for the Ramapo Road Improvements Project, decreasing the contract with Midwest Construction Incorporated of Warren, New Jersey by $3,094 to a revised contract price of $95,655. 2021-165, authorizing the purchase of 3 2021 police interceptor vehicles, Dodge Chargers, from designated vendors awarded contracts by the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey, Co-op. 2021-166, clarifying occupancy limits under the policy allowing temporary outdoor seating for restaurants during the pandemic shutdown of retail and commercial businesses in the Township of Pequannock. 2021-167, certifying that the members of the governing body have reviewed the annual report of audit for the year 2020. 2021-168, appointing the local registrar for the Township of Pequannock for a 3-year term ending July 24th, 2024. R 2021-169, authorizing the issuance of an alcoholic beverage control club liquor license to the Mountain View Social Club, Incorporated. 2021-170, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations. And R 2021-171, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the July 9th, 2021 bill list.
Are there any comments on the resolutions from council?
The only comment I was going to make was I just wanted to thank you for putting Resolution 166 back on the agenda. I just think anything we can do to help clarify regulations regarding occupancy limits and stuff like that is a good thing, which in turn will help everything else, whether it's parking or whatever else. So thank you for that.
Just a quick question for Adam on R 2021-163. The difference in the original contract price to the revised contract price, it looks like it's pretty much a direct result of gas prices. Is that between fuel and asphalt price adjustments?
So this was a project we were awarded a $300,000 grant for.
Right.
The bids came in excellently, and we got great prices on them. So in addition to the asphalt price adjustment, there was additional site work done to improve the intersection of the cul-de-sacs
Oh, okay.
in Alexander Avenue, so there was additional engineering work as well. And there will also be professional services that were associated with the preparation of the grant application charged to this. So I believe we're about $70 short of the $300,000.
We're still under budget. That's awesome. Congratulations. Great job.
Working with other people's money, Mr. Hurd.
Thank you very much. Doing awesome. That's all my questions.
I
Thank
want
you.
to say I love the fact that Cedar Crest got their like sort of liquor license. Every time I kind of giggle at Mountain View Social Club. I'm like, oh, those wild and crazy people up there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Gonna have to keep them down from the news. Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-161 through 2021-162 through 2021-171.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mayor Russell?
Yes, but I will abstain from 2021-166 because I have a son that works in a restaurant. There are no items currently listed for discussion, and there are no reports or notices. The next item on our agenda is council reports and announcements. Councilwoman Florence Lynch.
Yeah, just a couple of things. Just wanted to say kudos to the town. We did a fantastic job after the last storm and the power outage. Whether it was the employees or the volunteers, everyone did a terrific job. And the residents, I thank all the residents for their cooperation and for their patience. So I thought we did a terrific job there. The fireworks this year were spectacular, so I just wanted to make a comment about that. Many residents commented that they were great. I heard there was a little bit of a thing about the lights not going out for a half hour, but other than that, because they started late, I understand, right?
A little bit later than was expected, yes.
But other than that, they were great fireworks, so. What else? And I just got word about our Little League softball team, the girls age 12. They took the division finals and they're going to the state.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So congratulations to the girls softball. Let's see, any committee reports? Economic Development Committee, that committee did meet this past month. I know that Louise is in the audience and she's from that committee. She's doing a great job reaching out to businesses to set up ribbon cuttings. So a couple of them that have been contacted regarding ribbon cuttings are one called Optimal Movement. They're on Route 23. Another one, Marissa Nuzzo Photography on Newark-Pompton Turnpike. Betsy's Four Paws on Newark-Pompton Turnpike. Hoboken Pizzeria on Route 23. And Lawyer's Office Divorce Mediation and Paralegal Services, and they're also located on Route 23. And so that's awesome. Thank you.
Nothing gets past Louise, huh?
No?
There's been 6 pizzerias in the state.
I know.
I crossed my fingers.
Well, we're going to welcome them to town.
And I just, on the other end of the phone, I just got my fingers crossed. It's like number 6 going in the same spot.
Yes.
They're going to do great.
Whatever.
Yeah, so awesome. Some more to come on that, but that's it.
I just want to say that people from Hoboken stick around.
There you go.
Are they actually from Hoboken?
That's going to be her favorite
I've
restaurant.
been here for 25 years.
I have nothing else.
Okay, Councilman Hurd?
Thank you, Mayor. Just two quick things. Again, that storm that came through last week, I was literally on the ball field with the boys, and it came out of left field, literally. We saw it, and we were like, maybe we should get off the field. By the time we got from the field to the pavilion, we were over by Greenview Park. Like, everything opened up. It was amazing. But more amazing, and I keep on beating this drum, but our first responders, they literally drop everything, and kudos to Adam as well, by running a tight ship. Everybody knew exactly what to do, and everybody just did it, whether it was our police, whether it was first aid squad, whether it was Company 1, Company 2, DPW. It was like a fine-oiled machine. As us as residents, we see chaos and electric going out and trees going down and just everything is going crazy. And these men and women are just dropping everything in their normal lives and helping us. So I really appreciate it to all of our first responders and Adam, because Adam, you run a tight ship. All those tabletop exercises, all the what ifs, you know?
It's a
When
fantastic
the end
team.
of the world comes, we're in good hands. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then second, I just want to make sure that everybody knows our hearts and prayers do go out for Luca. It's a shame to see a little guy like that having so many issues, but it'll be good. It'll all be good in the end. So I just want to say our hearts and prayers go out. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Cole? Quite a woman.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I missed the storm. We left Tuesday morning for Lake George, so I heard all about it. Had to have someone go into my house and get the generator out, and unfortunately, we go in the garage with a garage door opener. I was like, how are we going to get in? So we did have a hide key somewhere. Won't tell you where, but someone was able to get in and get my generator going, so I appreciated that. But we definitely appreciate all of the first responders, the DPW, everyone in Town Hall that helped get the town back up and running. So it was greatly appreciated. I did miss the Company 2 meeting on Thursday night because I was still away, but I did ask if they had anything to report. They did not. I made the Company 1 meeting on Friday night. Just a couple things. Their annual preventative maintenance started on the trucks. The county radios are all being replaced on Monday. Hardware will be replaced. No changes to any of the frequency. The nozzles, they got new nozzles and they are working properly. Unfortunately, they had to test them out on the house fire in Greenview Drive, but they said that they all worked great. So we appreciate that they're keeping up on all of their maintenance. Congratulations to the 12-girl All-Star team. They're going to the States. And I just got an update that the 10-year-old boys are in the district championship. Game started at 7, and they're up 1-0. So,
All right.
yeah, they haven't lost a game yet, so they're doing good.
And not just, the boys' team seemed to be like 24-0.
Yeah. So I was at the game on Sunday in Bloomingdale. They're very good.
They are.
Yeah. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I'll repeat what everybody else said. The amount of people that did a great job, the DPW, Forest Harbor, Dave Cycling, all those boys, the water department, everybody, the fire, police, the first aid, everybody chipped in. And also there was great stories about residents saying, I have a generator, and let me throw a cord over. I was actually one of those people. My neighbor said to me, you want a cord? Because I was one of the last people. In case anybody thinks the mayor is favored, no. Nope, I was one of the last. So, kudos to everybody. And we also, just so you know, we also received a call from the governor's office. How you guys doing? Who then in turn made sure that the Board of Public Utilities got in touch with us. And so I think everybody, and Adam did a phenomenal job of keeping the calls, and JCP&L, and we could all say, yes, they need to work on their infrastructure, they need to do stuff, but they were very responsive. When Adam called, he got a call back in 5 minutes. And while it is not perfect, it's a step in the right direction, when you say so.
Much better than one
Right.
directly prior to that.
Right.
I'll just,
Exactly.
won't mention any storm names, but I'll just say better.
Exactly.
It's not the norm for this area, so it's...
Right. Well, and it did. It came through like a wall.
Yeah.
That wind. Library meets a week from tomorrow. Environmental will meet tomorrow at 7:30. We attended a dinner with the Morris County, the League, and one of the county commissioners got up and spoke, and he said Morris County is working on grants for businesses in Morris County. So as soon as I hear that, I will pass it down. I'm sure the chamber will pass it down. But I had called John Krickus after that meeting and got a little bit more in depth with him and asked, what are you doing? When's it coming out? They're doing it with the Morris County Chamber. And it's going to be all about recovery. So it's businesses who are in need of money to help them recover. So that should be coming up shortly, and that's nice that the county's doing that. I know I have a lot today. Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill was in town. She had given us a call. She came, believe it or not, the day after the storm. Yeah, I represented you guys without being showered because I had no electricity. So I was just like, hi, I'm here, it's really hot. We walked the downtown and she listened to some of the business owners. We went to Initial Encounter, Barty's, and Boston Louis Jewelers. Initial Encounter was kind enough to give her a nice shirt that said Pequannock, and yes, and she'll wear it proudly, so that was really nice. And she just asked them their thoughts. She asked about, a lot of people said the same thing. The unemployment is kind of hurting some people who can't get help. Other people, the PPP didn't help them because they were closed. But at least, she was listening. And then again, she had a call last Monday about how we can spend that recovery money per towns because, they give you a lot of money, but then they say you have to use it like this, like this, like this. So, and it can't be used to offset your taxes. Sorry. I know everybody's like, yeah, just throw it in there. Can't do that, unfortunately. And that's all I have. Thank you. Next on the agenda is public comment. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record. Next on the agenda is minutes for approval. We would be approving the June 8th, 2021 minutes. Is there any comments on these minutes?
No.
No. Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
I'll make that motion to approve June 8th, 2021 minutes.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are no items for closed session, so at this time, I'll administer the oath of office to Mr. DeRisi. Is Claudia on her way? Is she? Yeah, right there. She's right here? Okay.
Come on in.
Council, would you like to join me downstairs?
We would love to.
Oh, I was just fooling Sam.
Hey, John.
Just saying, you can't say no yet. It's technically already on.
See that? I gotta go like this, right?
You raise your right hand.
And repeat after me. I, John DeRisi,
I, John DeRisi,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
and
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully, impartially,
and
justly perform
all
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of the Pequannock Township Council member
of the Pequannock Township Council member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
He's never going to be home now.
Don't scare her. So we just do pen.
Oh, you got it, right?
You want to catch?
I got it.
Oh, did you want to? Oh, he's good.
He's prepared.
Listen, I didn't request. He always carries his pen. It was one. That's what you need.
bring my phone. You want to take it? Yeah, sure.
Take picture.
Picture?
I'll just text it to you guys.
I didn't bring my phone.
You want to go
We're gonna nominate
Probably
me
just
just
sit up
to
straight if
really
you were
throw
wearing
things
that
up.
seersucker suit.
Do you want to
All right, we can come up now.
Come on, it's your time. Both of you, yes, you have to.
You have to embarrass them.
I love pictures. I really do.
My kid was asking for that.
Hey,
don't go too far.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay, you're good.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for having me. I will.
Congratulations, John.
Did you tell them about the bulletproof glass?
Not yet. We'll do it at the next meeting.
Yeah, exactly. We won't tell you why we have bulletproof glass
still has no
There being no
coatings in
further
for it.
business, is there a motion to
Poor guy.
adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting